Hi, everybody. My name is Keith Freeze, and I usually cover the LA Kings on this channel, but today I'm going to be talking about a bigger, broader hockey topic. But this season with the NHL, instead of getting the All Star game and the All Star skills competition, we got the Four Nations tournament. And, I don't know what the TV ratings are looking like, but in general, it's been widely successful for the league, especially on social media. And a lot of that has to do with the kind of ongoing feud right now in this tournament between USA and Canada. The whole tournament's been good. Finland, Sweden, everybody, but that's really been the driving thing about it. And it's been announced that next year the NHL players will be participating in the Olympics. The year after that, 2027, has yet to be announced. And then in 2028, is the return of the World Cup. So for that 2027 season, with nothing announced, I'm providing this, what you're seeing on the screen, which is the Three Nations Super Series. Now, the NHL graphics department would probably come up with a completely different logo than the one you're seeing. The one I made is just simply based off of the Four Nations logo that we got. But the idea is that this whole thing between USA and Canada is, really big on social media. You go back to the 1972 Summit Series, which was also called the Super Series between Russia and Canada. You've got the 1980s Olympics between USA and Russia. And, I kind of think this would be a nice way to have like these three super teams basically going against one another in an NHL regulated format. So, the name might change or the logo might change, whatever, but the idea and the concept is pretty much there, which is that you might have a round robin buy-in round where each team plays each other once. It's a win-loss type record. And if at the end of the three round robin games, let's just say every team won in regulation, so they all have 3 win-loss points, you could add it up by how many points were scored by each team. So let's say Russia had 7 points and Canada had 6 points and USA had 5 points. Well, then Russia advances to the championship game, and then Canada and USA play each other, and the winner of that game goes to the championship game. So 5 games in total, but basically, kind of a shorter, punchier tournament. You could spread it out so you're not doubling up games on one day. We did see that in this tournament, and I'm not opposed to it, but just for TV reasons, there was a couple times where they would have doubled up games where one was in like the morning or early afternoon, and then the other one was in the evening, and there'd be a big gap in between rather than like game to game. And I get it. You got to clean the ice. You got to get people out of the stands so you can clean the stands and then bring in new fans. I get all that. But I'm just saying that in terms of like avoiding that TV kind of break, maybe you just do one game a day and you spread it out. So you maybe have the 3 round robin buy-in games, maybe like a Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And then the second week, it's the number 2 versus number 3 game on a Tuesday and the championship game on a Thursday, something like that. Anyway, but, I just kind of think this is maybe where the NHL should go with that 2027 season break. They might come up with something different. They might go back to the All-Star game. I don't know. I know that there's people like, I'll name drop Brody Brazil, but I know that Brody Brazil has talked about the Winter Classic on his channel and what to do with that. Maybe the Winter Classic is no longer its own event. Maybe that's something that they wait to do till the season break, and maybe that's part of this. Like maybe the championship game is at a Winter Classic. I don't know. But, I'm just saying you can figure out different concepts and whatever, but at least a good jumping off point is that you got to look at who could possibly be competing and how do you make the fans care. I think this year's tournament was really good for that. Is kind of like you have these neighboring countries that already have these sort of built-in hockey feuds going on. So is Canada and USA, but also Sweden and Finland. It works. Now, how do you take that a step further? Like, well, I think Russia versus Canada versus USA totally works. As for the things I mentioned before, like the 72 Summit Series and the 1980s Olympics, and even for this tournament that's been going on, or even in the last handful of years or decades between USA and Canada, there's a built in rivalry with these three countries in terms of hockey. So, yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense, but we'll see what the NHL has for us. But just kind of something to throw out there for you guys. Anyway, my name is Keith Freeze. Thank you for checking out this video. If you feel like checking out King's content, please come back. And either way, have a great one, and I'll see you all later.